What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. With Money in the Bank just a week away, what surprises will WWE have in store for the WWE Universe? Join us now as we look at this week's edition of the Blue Brand, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Jeff Hardy in Rehab, wrestlers react to Roe vs. Wade decision, Kane is now wrestling's most hated, Bray Wyatt's new name, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and our non-wrestling channel, Incredible. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, a perfect parody. Natalya's incredible impersonation of Smackdown Women's Champion Ronda Rousey was a good way to add insult to injury Natalya inflicted on Rousey 2 weeks ago. Natalya vs Ronda isn't the stuff of legend, but the WWE is actually doing its best it can to build heat for the match. I can't even believe she came out with a stroller. I mean, come on, that's just gold. Number 2, instant prestige. Gunther's already made the Intercontinental Championship prestigious, as he looks like an invincible monster who's only going to get stronger. We'll skip the usual talk of how the IC Championship hasn't been the same in the last few years, but we'll point out the Intercontinental Champion is a good substitute for title matches in light of Roman Reigns rarely defending his undisputed championship. Putting the belt around Gunther's waist has instantly elevated it from mid-card title holders such as Apollo Crews and Ricochet. Number 3, heel Viking Raiders. Is the WWE finally taking the Viking Raiders seriously? Well, it sure looks that way after Eric and Ivar wiped out the New Day's dance celebration with Shanky and a very grumpy Jinder Mahal. The Viking Raiders have been misused for the last 2 years, with Eric and Ivar working as a comedy duo when they should be crushing opponents. A feud with the New Day is a great way to keep both teams busy, while the Usos seem permanently parked as undisputed champions. Number 4, a fabulous finish. The Sami Zayn vs Shinsuke is a match that fans can count on for fast-paced action. Although Sami vs Shinsuke has happened a bit too much recently, the finish was fresh as Shinsuke nailed Zayn with his finisher outside the ring, only to get caught with Zayn's Helluva Kick inside the ring, giving Sami the win. But that was a good. What about the bad is number 1, can Sheamus and Drew coexist? Or when in doubt, break out the can they coexist trope. Well, such was the case last night when Adam Pearce booked Sheamus and Drew McIntyre against the Usos with the stipulation that both the Scottish Warrior and the Celtic Warrior would land a spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match if they won, and they'd be out if they lost. The match itself was odd because it showed two partners who can't stand each other's guts defeating the WWE's best tag team. If a tenuous and tense team like Sheamus and Drew can defeat the Usos, why can't any talented teams? Number 2, dragging out Dupree. Why is WWE dragging out the Max Dupree segments? Is there an endgame to having Dupree announce he's ready to debut his clients, only for him to cancel at the last minute due to a prima donna style slight? Perhaps the WWE thinks making the fans wait 8 months for a wrestler's debut is the best course of action after how well Veer Mahan's delayed debut panned out. And we'll be the first to admit things did actually work out there. Unfortunately, unless there's a brilliant endgame, this is doing nothing to build interest in Dupree's clients making their grand entrance on Smackdown. There was nothing downright ugly, as the WWE did a good job building up Money in the Bank, as well as developing a new storyline with the Viking Raiders heel turn. Roman Reigns' absence is hurting SmackDown, but the WWE's writing team deserves credit for continuing the build to the undercard to build the upper card up with a push for Gunther, the aforementioned heel turn for the Viking Raiders, and the still intriguing story of when Sami Zayn's fantasy camp with the Bloodline will come to a painful end. But what do you guys think of the Blue Brand this week? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at Jeff Hardy entering rehab. Atop in today's news is a report that Jeff Hardy has entered treatment for alcohol abuse. AEW President Tony Khan discussed Jeff's decision during a media call about Sunday's Forbidden Door pay-per-view. The Wrestling Observer / Figure 4 Online's Josh Nason summarized Khan's comments about Jeff Hardy seeking treatment. Khan said that Hardy is in treatment, but couldn't say much more other than he stayed in contact with Matt Hardy and that AEW will continue to support Jeff as he goes through the treatment process. According to the Observer report, Tony Khan was not happy when someone suggested Jon Moxley and Jeff Hardy's situation was similar, as Khan came back to question later and bristled at the notion that Hardy and Moxley's situations are similar. He said that Moxley never put anyone in danger and that the two situations were apples and oranges, and didn't like to hear them compared. Khan's comments about Jeff also included the revelation that AEW has a wellness policy of its own. The AEW president didn't elaborate on what the program entails, but said it's open to anyone in the company and that he hopes talent utilizes it before there are problems. We wish Jeff Hardy all the best as he enters rehab and works to conquer his personal demons. Do you think this is his last chance though? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, wrestlers react to Roe vs Wade decision. Now, the wrestling world is reacting to Dobbs vs Jackson's Women's Health Organization, the abortion rights case recently heard by the United States Supreme Court. The court's recent decision that abortion is not a constitutional right is creating considerable controversy as people react to the decision overturning Roe vs Wade and Planned Parenthood vs Casey decisions. Consequently, individual states will pass their own laws regarding abortions. There are far too many reactions to include them all, but here are a few. Caleb Axton tweeted, "Moving backwards, sad day." Renee Paquette just mentioned awful. Paige directed her comments at Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, saying, "So this guy just wants everything overturned that doesn't directly affect him. This is so effed." Mia Yim said, "Not sure if I'll be streaming tonight, but either tonight or tomorrow night, I'll be doing a charity stream for the National Abortion Federation, NAF. Jessica McKay said, "I'm just at a loss for words." The decision is going to be discussed for some time to come, and it's likely going to lead to some strong comments and reactions, as our next story suggests, as Kane is wrestling's most hated man right now. A WWE Hall of Famer Kane, aka Glenn Jacobs, is facing nuclear-level heat on social media after he tweeted this about Roe vs Wade case. Roe v Wade has been overturned. This clears the way for states like Tennessee to pass strong protections for the unborn and is an answer to a prayer for so many. #right to life, #victory. Jacobs is the Republican mayor of Knox County in Tennessee and maintains a vocal presence on social media about his political views. Here are some responses to Jacobs' comments. Current Impact star Rosemary didn't hold back, just tweeting, "You literal piece of shit." Another commented, "Seriously, I'm tired of seeing I love Kane but F Glenn Jacobs. That F Kane and F Glenn. He made a career of someone else's career, whether it be Kevin Nash or Taker. Trash wrestler, trash human." One fan contrasted Jacobs' anti-vaccination comments with Jacobs' stance on abortion. "This runs completely opposite to the reasoning that you gave when you explained when you considered yourself a libertarian. I just want government to leave me alone, but I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you don't care either." Now, there were plenty of furious fans, one who tweeted, "Respectfully WWE, please never have Kane return to TV again. It's a real shame you chose to be a monster inside and outside the ring." Former AEW Women's Champion Dr. Britt Baker tweeted, "No wonder you couldn't cut it as a dentist, #idiot." At least one Twitter account tried to put a humorous spin on things, as WWE Creative Humor tweeted, "Kane continuing the most successful heel run of his career." Kane isn't the only wrestler who comments about the Supreme Court's decision concerning Roe v Wade leading to criticism, as Becky Lynch blasts a former WWE superstar. Kane is by no means the only wrestler being criticized on social media. Jackson Riker, aka Chad Lale, incurred the wrath of Becky Lynch after criticizing Lynch for her comments about Roe v Wade's decision. The former WWE superstar tweeted, "Many posts I've seen are heartbreaking, Becky Lynch being one. That life inside of them isn't just a clump. You as a mother should see how precious life is. Those babies in the womb have a right to live. I pray you come to see the bigger picture." Lynch fired back saying, "Yes, I chose to be a mother, to a daughter that I could safely deliver and afford to raise. A daughter who deserves autonomy over her own body. Banning abortions doesn't stop them, it stops safe ones. God bless you, your ignorance and lack of uterus." Riker incurred his fair share of backstage heat during his time in WWE for his comments concerning Hall of Famer Donald Trump, as well as the Black Lives Matter movement. And finally, meet Bray Wyatt 6. And last but not least, it looks like Wyndham Rotunda, aka former superstar Bray Wyatt, has settled on a name, at least when it comes to merchandise. Ringside News reported Wyatt recently filed for a trademark for Wyatt 6 for clothing purposes. The Eater of the Worlds retained the services of Michael E. Dawkins, who is the same attorney who handles trademark issues for many pro wrestlers, including wrestlers who work for AEW. Wyndham recently changed his Twitter name to Wyatt 6, with some fans thinking it might signal a return to WWE. Wyndham's many teasers have some fans refusing to accept any comeback until Rotunda is back in the ring though. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.